Hi, very good afternoon, Janardhan. Let us coming to reproduction chapter. So apart from that reproduction, of course, already we discussed about that how the organisms are reproduced. So in this regarding concept, the organisms can reproduce by mainly two ways. Obviously, those are the first one is asexual mode of reproduction. The second one is sexual mode of reproduction. So as usual, as we discussed in previously, the lower organisms, for example, algae, fungi, all the non-flowering plants means cryptae. Let us coming to the animal part. The primary organisms like protozoans, coelacanths like hydra. These are all the organisms can reproduce by asexual mode of reproduction. Then we are going to the second important concept of this topic, the sexual mode of reproduction. The sexual mode of reproduction. So actually, as we studied, as we learned in the previously, the sexual mode of reproduction is nothing but the fusion of the gametes, the fusion of the male and female gametes, which takes place by the process of fertilization. The fusion of the male and female gametes is called as a reproduction by the process of fertilization. So fertilization is a process which takes place by the fusion of the male and the female gametes. So see here, what is mean by fertilization? Fertilization is a process takes place by the fusion of the male and the female gametes. So what is mean by fusion? Fusion means combination of male and female gametes. What is mean by gametes? Gametes are nothing but the male and the female representative, the reproductive main parts are called as a gametes. Male gametes are called as sperms, the female gametes are called as ovules. Is clear, children? Next, coming to that topic, actually the organisms can reproduce either inside of the female body or outside of the female body. So let us take outside of the female body. Usually the aquatic organisms like fishes and amphibians, the female ones release the more number of ovules. The male ones produce the huge number of or millions of the sperms in the water medium. So it takes place by the chance. So that is the reason the aquatic organisms can release the vast number of sperms and these more number of ovules by the takes place of a chance. But while coming to the internal fertilization, the fertilization takes place in the female body, the female organism. So it is a task. It's not a chance, it is a task. So that the ova is released only one. Of course, the millions of sperms are produced by these testes. It's clear, children? As for we are discussing about that till now about external fertilization and internal fertilization. So what do you mean by external fertilization? The fertilization which takes place by the outside of the female body, outside of the female organism, that we call as the external fertilization. The best examples are aquatic animals like the fishes and amphibians. While coming to the internal fertilization, the examples like birds, that means the egg-laying terrestrial organisms as a matter of the developing of these worms after fertilization in the female body, they develop into embryos leads to childbirth. So this is called as external fertilization and internal fertilization. Next we are going to the major important task, the placental mammal reproductive system. Apart from that sexual mode of reproduction, now we are discussing about the placental mammal reproduction. So in this regarding, today we are going to learn about male reproductive system. The male reproductive system. So the male one is different from the female as a sexual dimorphism. Mainly the male reproductive system consists of two parts. One is a pair of testes and a penis. Of course, the male reproductive system following the parts that we call as a pair of testes, vas differentia, a pair of epididymis, a pair of vas differentia, a pair of seminal vesicles, ejaculate duct, prostate gland, a pair of corpus gland, finally urethra. So the following parts which we call based on the placement and the function which are involved in that male reproductive system, the following parts are present. So let us first take this is called as a male reproductive system representation diagram. So regarding this diagrammatic schematic representation, we are going to understand about that each part labeling and the functioning, how they are involved in the male reproduction. So first and foremost, part of the male reproductive system is consisting of a pair of testes. So testes are located outside the abdominal cavity, hanging in a pouch-like structure, technically called as a scrotum. So a pair of testes is located in a pouch-like structure, technically it is called as a scrotum. Is clear, children? So in each testis, highly coiled the seminiferous tubules. See, the seminiferous tubules are present. A highly coiled seminiferous. This is the structure of seminiferous tubules. So in each testis, highly coiled seminiferous tubules are present. These seminiferous tubules are produce the sperms by the process of meiosis. Is clear, children? In each testis, highly coiled seminiferous tubules are present. These seminiferous tubules are produce the sperms by the process of meiosis in a very large number, nearly hundreds of millions. The sperm count also very important for the fertilization. So the sperm count is produced by this seminiferous tubules by the process of meiosis. So these sperms are released into the vas differentia. So these pink color layer, just I have to highlight it. This is called as a vas differentia. So these vas differentia, the sperms which are carried out into the towards the vas differentia. So vas differentia cross or passes towards the posterior part of the testis, and it connects to the epididymis. Is clear, children? First one is a pair of testes. A pair of testes. Each testis consists of a highly coiled seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules produce the sperms by the process of meiosis. By the process of meiosis. So, with the effect of meiosis, hundreds of millions of sperms are produced in the testes. Is it clear? Now, I am going to ask a question. Why the scrotum is present outside the abdominal cavity, especially in the male? Why the scrotum is present outside the abdominal cavity in a male? So, what is the use of to hanging the outside of the body of these male reproductive organs like testes? What is the purpose? Means actually the scrotum which is present outside the abdominal cavity, it maintains the body temperature lower than the body temperature near 2.5 degrees centigrade. For example, 98.4 degree Fahrenheit is the normal temperature inside of our organism, but it maintains the lower than the 2.5 degrees centigrade. So it is very important for the sperms generation, sperms production. It is very important. So that is only the reason the abdominal cavity, outside the abdominal cavity, we are having the pouch-like structures that we call as a scrotum, which is hanging these testes. So testes are the male reproductive organs which produce the sperms. So these sperms are entered into the vas efferentia. So these vas efferentia carries the sperms towards the epididymis. On each side of the testis, we are having the epididymis. So epididymis, see, these epididymis stores the sperms and it carries towards through the seminal ducts and it carries to vas differentia. Vas differentia is nearby to the testis. Vas differentia is far away to the testis. So that is why it is called as a vas difference. So these vas difference comes to the seminal ducts. Vas differentia comes to seminal ducts. So these through the seminal ducts to vas differentia, these vas differentia opens to seminal vesicles. So the seminal vesicles means it's a sac-like structures which stores the sperms temporarily. Along with it can produce the seminal fluid. It produces the seminal fluid which can providing the nutrients outside the body. Actually, the seminiferous tubules produce the sperms. It carries towards to the towards to the ureters. So outside the testes, it is providing the feeding by the seminal vesicles. So the seminal vesicles along with this vas deferentia both joined and it leads to the ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct means it leads to outside. So both the vas deferens and the seminal vesicles which get commonly combined and it leads to the pathway that we call as a ejaculatory duct. So these ejaculatory ducts leads to with the help of with the combination of the seminal fluids and the sperms. So it moves towards to the penis. Meanwhile, we are having the two glands. One is called as a prostate gland. Prostate gland provides the nutrients to the semen and the sperm cells. And this Cowper gland produces the semen. Cowper gland produces the semen is a fluid. Prostate gland provides the nutrients to the sperm cells. So with the help of these Cowper gland and the prostate gland, these sperms are travels along with the penis. Along with the penis, here we call as a urethra. Urethra is a common in a male. Both it carries the not only urine but also to the sperms. So urethra is a common opening path to release the sperms and the urine. So once again, repeat, children. Especially in the 10th class, the placental mammal reproductive system, due to the sexual dimorphism, obviously the male reproductive system and the female reproductive system is differ. So let us focus on that male reproductive system. Mainly consists of two parts. One is a penis. The second one is a testis. So testis is located outside the abdominal cavity and it is hanging to the scrotum. The pouch-like structure technically we call as a scrotum. Why the testes are located outside the abdominal cavity? What is the use? As we discussed, so it maintains the body temperature lower than the body temperature, nearly 2.5 degrees centigrade. It is very essential for the sperm formation. Yes, the testis is having the seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules means the tubules which produce the sperms. These sperms are produced in these seminiferous tubules. It carries towards to the vas deferentia. Vas deferentia is a highly coiled structure. It passes or it carries the sperms towards the epididymis. Epididymis carries these sperms, the posterior part of the testis, and it carries through the seminal duct and it leads to the seminal vesicle. So seminal vesicle is a sac-like structure which produces the seminal fluid. So along with the seminal fluid, these sperms are enter into the ejaculatory duct. So these vas deferentia and seminal vesicles both are joined to lead to ejaculatory duct. Here we are having the two glands. One is a Cowper's gland. The second one is a prostate gland. So prostate gland provides the nutrients to the semen. Cowper glands provides the fluid medium. So with the help of fluid, the sperms are produced. The sperms are travels. So the fluid we call as a semen. The white color fluid semen is produced by this Cowper gland. Cowper gland produces the semen. Prostate gland produces the nutrients to the sperm cells. So with the help of these two glands, the sperm cells are alive and it can be passing through this penis. In male, of course, both the urine as well as the sperms are released by this urethra. So this is the way we have to understand, we have to discuss about the male reproductive system. Thank you, children. Thank you for watching this male reproductive system video.